The Fanfiction Power Hour is a comedy podcast between friends that does not attempt straightforward readings. The links to the fanfictions are in the description if you would prefer an unaltered experience and to support the authors by giving the stories a like. Hello there, everybody. Welcome back to Jen and Wizzy's Fanfiction Power Hour. I'm your host, Jen, last name person, and with me here, as always, is Wizzy Puff. Say hello, Wizzy.
How's everyone doing?
We'll wait for them to talk.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Someone just stepped through the door. Wizzy, I told you to lock that, you friggin' dummy.
It's an open doorway. There is no door.
Wizzy, I told you to build a door. No, I'm not going to give you the materials.
I tried to draw it with magic marker, but it didn't work out.
Well, hello there, stranger. You look like you write My Little Pony fanfictions.
I've never been so insulted in my life, nor so accurately. Hello.
Hello there. Is your name FanOfMostEverything?
It is, yes.
I am, on point right now. Go me. Okay. Hi. Wonderful to meet you. Well, we were just recording. Welcome to the podcast. You want to join in?
Yeah, sure.
Haha, got another one. Great job, Wizzy.
They're trapped now.
All right. Well, welcome, fan of most everything, or fan, or foam. We'll settle on one as we go. We have read 2 of your stories in the past, and then some other stuff that you've sort of worked on, or something. I don't know. We have read... Wizzy, what have we read? I'm curious if Wizzy knows.
Oh, shoot. Oh, boy. Oh, no. You can't put me on the spot like this. I can barely remember what we read. I don't even remember what we read last episode.
It was Group Therapy by James
right.
Push.
Yeah, that's right. See, you remember the stories.
Yep. Okay, well, we read A Mad Glimmer and Last Daughter of Krypton.
Man, A Mad Glimmer is one of my favorite fics of last year.
That one was pretty good.
Thank you. One of the first Starlight fics ever written, actually.
Oh
is that true? That makes sense, given you definitely wrote it before the season 5 finale.
Oh, yes. The sequel was immediately after the season 5 finale in parts. Other bits were written immediately after A Mad Glimmer, which is somehow I never expected them to redeem her.
Yeah, that did kind of come out of left field, her redemption, but I'm glad they redeemed her in the end, because she turned into one of my favorite characters.
There is value in the Glim Glam.
Man, they can
love her. She's fantastic.
They can redeem all these other characters, but then they keep the baby who turns evil in stone forever. And I just can't get over that.
It was a choice. I mean, we don't know if it's forever.
We also don't know if she's
point.
actually a child or if she just has, arrested physical development and she's actually a chain-smoking 40-year-old.
It's
like
it
the
could
episode
be
of
that.
Batman animated series.
Oh yeah, baby
doll.
I mean, that would definitely ease some pain, but I think it's a child. She's a child.
Hmm.
She is also a child who literally chose violence at every opportunity.
Yep. Sometimes people do that. Sometimes children do that. It is very sad. We're not reading about Cozy Glow, though. Today, we are going to be reading It's a Date, Rocker Boy by Rough Hooves. Exciting.
That's a character who... Did Lemon Zest got redeemed, right?
In as much as she needed to be, yes.
Okay. That's a good redeemed character.
I would say Flash Sentry also got redeemed.
On a metafictional level, yes.
As with everybody, Flash Sentry was not my favorite part of the first couple of EQG movies. But I think
he wasn't like a villain, right?
No, he was just not the most interesting of characters. But I enjoyed him from Friendship Games onward.
Nice.
So yeah, exciting. Actually, you know what? Before we begin, it's a shorter story, so might as well. Before we begin, Fan, I want your opinion on this.
Mm-hmm.
When Applejack refers to herself, how do you write that?
Oh. Okay, so I have actually vacillated on this. I have learned that a little bit of phonetic accent goes a long way. I actually do have one story in the works. Let me see if... Yeah, I currently use just capital I. I have used capital AH in the past. I have since distanced myself from that.
Yeah. Personally, I do prefer, just as a Southerner, I do prefer the capital I, just regular plain old I, for when writing characters with an accent like that. Because, like, if someone who was from Texas writes something down, they might spell it y'all or cut the G's out of specific words. I've done that several times, but I have never written it AH. That drives me mad.
That's a good point.
Reasonable.
I was going to say that it's a lot better to indicate the accent just by having things like saying, I don't know, talking instead of talking, or saying y'all instead of you all.
Yalntov.
The grand transcendent contractions.
All right, that's just what I wanted to know. Lovely to have you here. Let's get into the story then. This is It's a Date, Rocker Boy by Rough Hooves. Chapter, Call Me. Flash Sentry looked up from his seat on the school's steps, his fingers idly brushing against the strings of his guitar as he let his mind dwell on the sad state of affairs he was now thrown in. He could still hear them chiming in his ears, words that held no malice in them, but when she had spoken them, felt as cold as ice and as sharp as a blade as they tore through his heart. Twilight had rejected him. Oof! Oh, my poor boy.
Well, that makes sense.
He was a
Doesn't really seem
boy,
like his
she
type.
was a horse. Can I make it any more obvious?
Well, actually,
Yeah.
do they mean Twilight as in Twilight from Crystal Prep or Twilight from Equestria?
Looking ahead a bit, they do mean the human Twilight.
Okay, cool.
Okay. So that's Sci-Twi?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You got it, man.
Okay.
Wizzy's learning so much. Wizzy hasn't seen the show, by the way.
Oh, any of it?
No.
Like, he's seen clips, but that's it.
Yeah.
That's part of the fun of this podcast, is teaching him stuff about My Little Pony.
Ah.
Twilight had rejected him. She had said it in the nicest way possible, letting him down easy and hoping that they would still be friends. After his tumultuous relationship with Sunset Shimmer, Flash finally felt that he could learn to love again after meeting her, but it was now clear it was not to be. Men, am I right? Flash Sentry had been thrilled when he heard the news that Twilight Sparkle had decided to transfer out of Crystal Prep and enlist in the military. I'm sorry, read that wrong. Decided to transfer out of Crystal Prep and enlist into Canterlot High School. So much so that he had heard his heart pounding all the way up to his ears when he overheard the Rainbooms discussing it at their favorite table at lunch. He knew that it wasn't the same Twilight Sparkle that he had fallen for, but deep down in his heart, he wanted to believe that she was. Perhaps it was selfish of him to expect that from her, but even if it wasn't the same Twilight, he really did like her, and had hoped she would have liked him back. A labored sigh escaped his lips, although it did nothing to ease the pressure that had built up in his chest.
Maybe it's time to move on,
he thought to himself. Looking down, he saw his trusty guitar looking up at him, as though it were a silent friend sharing his grief. Smiling at the thought, he brought his left hand to the neck, his fingers pressing down on the strings of the fretboard as he fished around for a guitar pick in his jeans pocket with his right hand. Pulling the pick out of his pocket when his fingers grasped its familiar shape, Flash began to strum his guitar, playing a guitar riff from one of his favorite songs. Although there wasn't any music coming from his guitar, as he hadn't plugged it into an amp, simply going through the motions of playing helped relax him. In his mind, he could hear every note as his fingers glided across the fretboard, and when the riff had ended, the pressure he had felt in his chest earlier felt so much lighter. Deciding that he should probably be heading home for the day, Flash started to pack his guitar into his case. Its case. Crud. Flash started to pack his car. God damn. I'm...
Unraveling live.
Flash started to pack his guitar into its case, but stopped short when he heard someone whistle behind him. Still holding his guitar, he turned around and came face to face with a girl that he certainly wasn't expecting to see. She was clad in a Crystal Prep uniform and had a pair of headphones hanging from her neck, along with a small leather satchel draped across her shoulder. Her lime-colored hair... colored is spelled with a U.
The mystery continues.
By the end of this, we'll figure out who exactly wrote this, as in where they're from. Her lime-colored hair had light green and yellow highlights in them, and cascaded in waves past her shoulders and down to her back. An impressed grin had spread across her dark pink face, and her golden-colored eyes were fixed on his guitar. As he regarded her closely, Flash recognized her as one of the Crystal Prep contestants in the Friendship Games.
Sweet axe,
she said to him, her eyes never leaving his guitar. Flash blinked a couple of times before realizing that the axe she was talking about was his guitar.
Oh.
He exclaimed when the realization hit him.
The guitar. Thanks, I guess.
Custom job?
She asked.
Yes, it is.
He replied.
You could tell?
It's written all over it, dude.
She replied.
Solid mahogany body, curved 6-in-line headstock, jacaranda wood fretboard, vintage tailpiece, Seamare Duncan humbucker pickups. This is one totally wicked axe you got there.
Dang.
Even freaking horse puns in the guitar names.
You annihilated that.
I read a lot of my own stuff aloud to make sure the dialogue flows well.
Nice.
Good. Also, they didn't add an exit quotation mark here, so I guess this next part is just you.
Flash felt his eyebrows shoot up to his forehead as he stared in wonder at the girl in front of him. Not many people could tell that his guitar was a custom-made instrument, and even fewer would be able to list its specifications just by looking at it.
Oh my god. Imagine someone actually talking to you like that in person. That'd be amazing.
I've done it to people,
said Count Black. Super Paper Mario.
Oh. Man, I gotta play some Paper Mario at some point.
You do. Have you not played Paper Mario, Wizzy?
No. The biggest disappointment of my life is when my father asked me which game to get at GameStop. Wario World or Paper Mario and the Thousand-Year Door. And I chose Wario World like an idiot.
Oh.
I was begging for that story to end. Wario World or Super Paper Mario or maybe even the first Paper Mario. I was just like, oh, please don't be the Thousand-Year Door. But then you said the Thousand-Year Door, and that was just the most depressing thing.
That's what everyone says is the best one.
It is.
And WarioWare is good, but...
Oh, it was Wario World. It wasn't WarioWare.
Oh, Wario World. I'm an idiot. I have no idea about Wario World.
It's not bad.
It's a good game. It was fun as a kid.
Okay. Well, at least you had fun.
Yeah. Wow.
He exclaimed in admiration.
You really know your guitars.
She said as she flashed him a cocky smile.
My parents totally own the largest chain of music stores in Canterlot, after all. Gotta know the family business.
Hold on.
Flash asked in surprise.
Your parents own the Philharmonic's chain of music stores?
That's right.
She answered, her smug grin never leaving her face.
Name's Lemon Zest, by the way. What's yours, Rocker Boy?
Woo! Lemon Zest! Woo!
Yay.
Woo! She called him Rocker Boy. Ooh. Flash Sentry.
He replied as he offered her a handshake.
Well, Flash,
she said as she shook his outstretched hand.
You got an awesome axe, but have you got the fingers for it?
Turns out that was actually a threat, and she starts breaking them.
I keep mine in a jar by the side of my bed.
Keep them as extra guitar picks.
Flash felt his left eyebrow raise itself at her insinuation. Was this girl questioning his ability to play his own guitar?
Period.
I'm sorry,
he said, annoyance tinting his tone.
But are you suggesting that I don't know how to play my own guitar?
Whoa, slow down, Rocker Boy.
She replied, holding her hands in front of her defensively.
It was just a question. I just thought it'd be a total bummer if you couldn't play is all.
Flash considered this for a while before an idea came to his mind. Gesturing to the school doors with his thumb, a confident smirk grew on his face.
Come on,
He said.
I bet one of the music rooms are still open.
An amused smile drew itself on Lemon Zest's lips as her eyebrows lifted in expectation. She and some of her classmates were invited to a tour of Canterlot High in an effort to foster new friendships between the two schools. So far, the tour had been about as entertaining as watching the triennial Canterlot golf tournament, but Lemon had been able to keep herself entertained thanks to her headphones and CD player. Therefore, being given the chance to see a musician rock out on a guitar was certainly the most eventful part of her visit to Canterlot High so far.
All right, Rocker Boy.
She said as she walked up the stairs beside him.
Let's see what you got.
All right, we're partway through the story. We shipping it, boys?
I kind of like it so far. I don't know.
The premise is there. We're presumably getting to the part of it where they're building on this foundation and giving more material to justify the ship.
Yeah.
I haven't considered this ship ever before because the perfect Flash ship is with Derpy.
Agreed.
And Lemon Zest, I liked her with Sunset in that one fic we read.
Is Derpy even in Equestria Girls?
She is, and
Yeah.
there's a running gag of her patting Flash on the back after a Twilight rejects him.
Ooh, man.
I think it also happened in, what's it called? When Sunset lets him down easy in the camping one.
Yeah, I guess I kind of always picture him with someone kind of nice, someone sweet, and Lemon Zest might not be that, but I don't know. I think it's cute so far.
I would say maybe not sweet, but Lemon Zest is not bad. A bit in your face, though.
Indeed. And yes, the primary justification for Dirt Flash.
Yes. Opening the large double glass doors of the school, Flash and Lemon walked into the now mostly deserted corridor of Canterlot High. Most of the students had gone home for the day, leaving only a handful of students in the hallways, each of them turning to catch a glimpse of the strange couple with genuine curiosity. As the pair turned into another hallway, this one lined with 2 rows of sturdy wooden doors on either side, Flash would peer through the small windows of the doors to check if any of the music rooms were available.
So,
Asked Lemon Zest as they walked down the corridor.
your parents fans of Colts and Roses?
Not really.
Colts and Roses.
Could come up with a better pun than that.
Oh, it's actually a genius pun.
Is it really?
Yeah, Colt is a name of a gun.
I mean, I was hoping it was a reference to that, but I don't know.
I mean, I suppose it could be better, but I liked it.
Yeah, it's good enough.
I didn't like it at first, and then I made the connection. I was like, I like looking for the connections.
It's multi-layered.
He answered in confusion.
Why do you ask?
Figured they named you after the band's guitarist.
She replied with a giggle.
Very funny, Lemon.
He responded with a chuckle as he looked into another window.
Just because Colts and Rose's main guitarist's name happens to be Flash doesn't mean my parents were so unoriginal in choosing a name for me.
Finding a vacant music room for his performance, he turned the doorknob and held the door open for his sole spectator.
Well,
She said coyly.
ain't you a gentleman?
Walking past him as she entered the room, Flash Sentry felt his heart speed up slightly as he caught the scent of her perfume. He hadn't noticed it before as she was preoccupied finding an empty room, but as she passed him, her perfume that seemed to be a lovely mixture of citrus fruits and wild flowers wafted gently past him.
I'm assuming the perfume is wildflowers and the citrus is the natural scent.
Yes, very much so, yeah.
Oh, man.
Her grandfather was a lemon tree.
Oh, man, it's just like Applejack's parents being an apple tree.
Yeah, you got it, man.
Oh, man.
So that's what was with the ending of A Perfect Pair.
Well, they're an apple tree and also 2 comets.
Also 2 what?
2 comets. I forgot about that.
Is that a thing?
Okay, so in the one reunion episode where they talk about how everyone who can be there will be and how not all of them can, Applejack looks very plaintively out into the sky and 2 shooting stars pass by. So the running gag became, those orbiting meteorites are her parents.
Whoa. So the tree is a false prophet.
Yeah, you got it, man. And it was very much in reference to Applejack's parents. I can't remember how the line goes, but
Maybe they are looking down on us, and then they look up and see it.
no, it wasn't that obvious.
Oh, okay.
They don't get into Applejack's parents are definitely dead for real until like season, whatever it was. Whenever the Cutie Mark Crusaders get their Cutie Marks, that was really when they were like, all right, let's cram in that they're dead.
Oh.
Wow, that was only season 5.
Wow. That's just like
Man.
just over halfway through the series.
Apple Bloom had to grow up. That's how she got her cutie mark.
Yeah, a little bit.
Kinda.
Anyways,
Good for her. Oh, man.
he whispered to himself.
She smells amazing.
You say something, Rocker Boy?
Oh, no, nothing at all.
He replied quickly as he hastily unpacked his guitar, hoping to high heaven that she didn't notice the coloring of his cheeks. He silently berated his tactlessness and shallow thinking. He should not have been thinking of lemon zest like that. He knew he told himself to move on and get over Twilight's rejection, but going after the first girl who shows up was a little pathetic, if not a little sad. Besides, Lemon Zest had been nice the whole time with him, and he was doing her a grave disservice by thinking of her as something as lowly as a rebound girl.
Man.
Flash just, respects women. Well, he tries to.
Right?
And or
really
insulted
is a gentleman.
himself.
Yeah.
She's better than me.
She is, but that's okay, Flash. Bucko. Cheer up, big guy.
So, you like Colts and Roses, Lemon?
He asked, bringing his mind back to the task at hand as he plugged his guitar's cable into the amp.
Ever heard of Sweet Son of Mine?
Oh, dude, that song totally rocks hard. The guitar riff in the middle is just sick.
Placing his fingers on the frets and bringing his pick to the strings, Flash Sentry gave Lemon Zest a smug smile before belting out the very same riff that Lemon had mentioned. Lemon felt her mouth opening in shock and excitement. Switching POVs here.
No way.
She thought to herself.
He's belting out the riff.
Yes, he is. You got it, man.
Totally natural and organic thing to think.
I mean, I've definitely thought of stuff like that. Like just sounding as robotic as possible in my mind.
It's just a true moment of magic.
Flash chuckled to himself as he watched her get more excited as he continued playing, as Lemon Zest had started bobbing her head and tapping her feet to the melody. However, halfway through, it became clear she was getting a little too excited, as she now began to jump all over the place while playing an air guitar along with some serious headbanging. It took all of Flash's concentration and restraint to stop himself from falling over and laughing at Lemon's reactions. The riff finally came to an end as the vibration of the strings played the last note. Flash watched with amusement as Lemon Zest continued rocking out on her air guitar before she finally decided to stop about a half a minute later. Rushing up to him in what seemed like the blink of an eye, she grabbed his shoulders and brought her mildly grinning face about an inch away from his.
Madly grinning.
Yep, you are right.
Dude, that was totally awesome!
She screamed in excitement.
You were wielding that axe like you were some kind of wicked guitar god!
Thanks.
Replied Flash, his smile turning a little nervous as his eyes locked themselves onto Lemon's golden irises, his nose starting to once again drink in the intoxicating scent of her perfume that now returned at full force.
What other songs could you play?
she asked excitedly.
Do you know Hazy Train from Black Stallion or maybe Mistress of Puppets from Metallica? How about I enter Sandmare?
Jesus Christ. You're all humans. What are you doing?
Right. Although the Sandmare does sound like a cool character in My Little Pony. Someone related to Luna.
Huh. Yeah.
There's potential there.
There were obviously more songs that Lemon Zest had wanted to ask if Flash Sentry knew how to play, but she was cut short when a shrill voice rang out across the corridor. Lemon Zest! Cried a voice that Lemon immediately recognized as Sunny Flare's. Hey, Sunny Flare.
Oh, bummer.
Ooh.
Griped Lemon as she released her grip on Flash Sentry.
Here comes the warden.
Flash and Lemon watched the music room door open to reveal a short-haired girl with pale blue skin behind it, who, just as Lemon, was also wearing a Crystal Prep uniform. Her knitted brows, accentuated all the more by the visible twitch in her right eye, showed that she was in an extremely foul mood. Seriously? She snapped. Can't you stay with the rest of the group? Now hurry up and get your stuff. The bus is leaving. Had a pin dropped in the music room as Sunny Flare stomped out, there probably would have been an echo when it hit the ground. Cringing as the door slammed shut, Flash and Lemon turned to each other as awkward smiles cropped up on their faces.
Yes, I got a little crazy there,
she said sheepishly, her hands tucked behind her as she blushed slightly at her impulsive behavior.
You were a little excited,
Flash replied.
What can I say?
She said with a sly smirk.
I'm a girl who appreciates a hot lick.
Flash felt his face go hot at her last statement, for although he knew full well that she meant a guitar lick, it could still be taken out of context very easily. Wizzy, let's hear what that context is. What that out of context is. What else could
out
it be?
Of context, it might be like, oh, she really likes licking a hot slice of pizza and burning her tongue because she lives on the edge like that.
Interesting. I was thinking Carolina Reaper flavored lollipops.
Ooh, She does seem like she'd be into those.
I was thinking a sexual thing.
Also an option.
That didn't even cross my mind.
Wizzy's the good boy.
Yeah,
He said.
I could tell.
Lemon Zest! Cried Sunny Flare once again, her voice even more shrill than the first time.
Oh man, I gotta bail,
she said as she grabbed her belongings.
If Sunny's using that tone, then she's totally gonna blow her top if I don't head over there.
As he watched her pack her things, Flash wondered if he should say anything. Lemon Zest was a strange girl, to be sure, but she was in no way a boring girl. Quite the opposite, actually, as he had enjoyed the short time they spent together. Furthermore, Lemon Zest had managed to turn a potentially lousy day into an unexpected yet amusing one.
Hey, Lemon,
he said as she slung her bag on her shoulder.
Why don't we meet up after school? I mean, I'm usually here for practice, and if you ever want to hear me play, well, I wouldn't mind playing for you.
Ooh.
I hear fireworks.
Lemon Zest found herself blinking in surprise for a few moments after Flash had made his offer. Was he suggesting what she thought he was suggesting?
Are you?
She asked.
Are you asking me out?
Well, I
stammered Flash as his nervousness returned.
I figured it'd be nice to hang out and...
However, before he could properly voice a reply, Lemon had grabbed his right arm and pulled out a pen from her satchel, furiously scribbling a number on his palm. Flash gulped softly in both eagerness and slight trepidation as he wondered if Lemon was doing what he thought she was doing. Slipping her pen back into her satchel, when she was done, she looked up to him with a suggestive smile on her face. Giving him a playful wink, she confirmed his suspicion with a simple reply.
It's a date, rocker boy. Call me.
You! That's the name of the Fic.
Oh my goodness.
And the chapter.
You're right.
They did the thing.
Wow, I didn't notice that.
We have come full circle.
That is great. Author's note. I have no idea where this came from. I think I was trying to pair Lemon Zest with someone and figured that Flash would have been the only one with some degree of common ground with her. Still, I think they would probably make an interesting couple, the mild-mannered guitarist and the somewhat obnoxious rocker girl. Somewhat obnoxious. The
She might view that
end.
as a challenge.
And that was It's a Date, Rocker Boy by Rough Hooves. Well, what did we think of this?
This was a wonderfully cute fic. It reminded me a lot of, what was that one called? Something About Midnights.
Hmm.
It's just the same little short, one-off cutesy date vibe. And I think it probably had one of the... It was Sunset and one of the Crystal Prep people in that, I think, right?
I think you mean Sunset at Midnight. Something About Midnights is a very different one.
I always get those two confused.
By the way, everybody, including you, fan, go read Something About Midnight. Or heck, listen to the episode on it. It's a great episode. And a great fic.
Oh, Eva Lily's work? Yeah, I've already read that one. That was fantastic.
Oh, heck yeah.
As
So
for
that's how you
this
say it.
one, it is a very cute justification of an unusual ship. There was a degree of description bloat, just in terms of spelling out things that the reader could probably work out on their own. But, that's just something that can be worked out in time as the writer gets more comfortable with both the established information of the setting, one of the benefits of working with fanfic, and also just growing more comfortable with their own writing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Man, you should be doing this instead of us. That was just perfect. I definitely really like this story. By the way, Wizzy, Sunset at Midnights was also Lemon Zest.
Okay, nice. This really is like Sunset at Midnight.
Yeah.
At least in my memory.
Go listen to that episode as well. It's one of the queer Pride Month ones. Anyways, I did enjoy this one. I think that Flash Sentry and Lemon Zest could make for an interesting couple. Although I'm not sure how I feel about their colors going together. Okay, look, I know how that sounds, so I'm gonna stop right there. It's just...
Judge the ship by the actions of their characters, not by the palettes of their characters.
Yeah. Personality-wise, I like them together. Not as much as, say, Flash and Derpy. Already went over that, but we need to read a story about Flash and Derpy at some point. Flash and Derpy go together like Rainbow Dash and being a mother. Unexpected, but perfection.
So, does Flash end up with anyone at the end of the show? Like Sunset or anyone?
We don't really get a satisfying conclusion to Equestria Girls, sadly. The last special is just a bunch of holiday shorts, and beyond that, the last time we see Sunset is in the closing musical number of the series.
Yeah.
Which means they do acknowledge that Equestria Girls is a thing and friendship is magic, eventually.
Yeah, it sadly, unlike the main series, Equestria Girls got just shafted.
Yeah.
No satisfying wrap-up. It really didn't get much of a chance to stand on its two legs, although it did for a bit.
There was a fantastic epilogue fan script at the last BronyCon, wherein a retired Princess Celestia goes to the human world, tries to institute 5 more years of high school so the humans can have friendship lessons, and they have to talk her down and get her to accept that, every ending is a new beginning, and it is a very clear allegory for dealing with the end of the show, since this was 2019.
Dang.
Also, Principal Celestia goes to Equestria and fights Cthulhu with the sun.
That sounds awesome.
Okay, that sounds amazing.
Gotta figure out how to find that. All right. Yeah. That's that. Anything else we have to say?
Is anyone else more swayed toward this ship now? Or just about the same, or maybe even less than before reading it.
It's a
I'd
cute
say I'm more-
concept. I could see it happening. I still prefer Flash Derp.
As everyone should, as it is the perfect ship. I suppose if we weren't to get Flash Derp, this is a nice one. I wouldn't say that I am more at all like eager to have this as a ship. I didn't even think of this ship before, but now that I do, it's a good one. I like it. Flash deserves someone,
Yeah, it makes sense.
and so does Lemon Zest.
Exactly. Like, if it was either this or no one, I mean, this is a huge step above no one.
Yeah.
I think that this is, I don't know, probably like my third favorite ship that I've read from Equestria Girls Fix at this point. At least out of the male-female shipping.
Well, let's talk about that then. We've only gone on for 53 minutes. This could be cut down to like 28. So, Wizzy, top 5 favorite ships. Let's go for Equestria Girls.
From Equestria Girls? Oh boy. Well, my favorite would have to be Sunset and Twilight at this point. After having read that one Christmas one we read. I forget what it was called.
Oh, it's something like, yeah, shucks. I can't remember. By, what the heck is her name? Now I can't remember anything. By the number one Sci-Set
Oh,
shipper.
yeah, that's right.
What's her name?
And was that the actual account name or just a reputation?
Just a reputation.
Eileen says
they
hi?
dubbed themselves. That's the one. Light and the Solid. That's the fic name, I think.
Oh, dang. Yeah. That was a really good fic. I think it really swayed me toward, because it was like the first one where I was like, oh man, if this ship happened, then one of them would have to move to the other world to be with them more consistently. And I was like, oh, that's kind of a funky dynamic, I guess. So yeah, that's why that's my number one. As for more, I don't know.
Interesting.
Probably Rainbow Dash and Applejack, because, that's my OTP.
Yeah, he's a big Apple Dash shipper. Me, I could give or take.
It is popular pairing for a reason. Several reasons, honestly.
It is also canon.
That's one of them.
Personally, favorite, well, I guess, yeah, my favorite Equestria Girls ship, which, by the way, this does not say Equestria Girls in the tags. That's pretty weird. Favorite Equestria Girls ship, probably Flash and Derpy, which is wild to say, but I think they work so well together.
Dang, I really thought your top one would be like Sunset with someone.
I really thought my top one would be a queer person, a queer relationship.
Yeah.
Mine is Sunset and Human Twilight, so.
That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Human Twilight, not Princess Twilight.
I flip-flop between Sunset and Sci-Twi or Sunset and Princess Twilight so often. I think I would have to go with Sci-Twi because, I don't know, Sunset is a human, Twilight is pony. It's just the complicated thing of what are they going to do moving in together, or just like...
One is in high school, the other was technically an adult.
Well, I mean, that's true with Sunset Shimmer X, anybody.
I tend to lean on time-space shenanigans for that one.
Same here, but I can never explain it well enough to where I'm like, yeah, that's good. I can justify it perfectly with time shenanigans. But yeah, I think time moves slower in the Equestria Girls universe. Anyways.
Yeah, that's fair.
I suppose that is everything. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening. And a very special thank you to FanOfMostEverything, someone who I'm shocked we have not read more of on this.
Thank you for having me. It's been great to be here.
It's been wonderful. Everybody, I forgot to say the thing earlier. Go check out the fic below in the description and go check out FanOfMostEverything because they are, in fact, perfect. They're a perfect person. And if they have ever made a mistake, they are a false god. I keep saying they.
He, him.
Thank you. He is a false god if he has made any mistakes. All right. Thank you all so much for listening. Have a great day.
Build a door.
See ya. Maybe it's time to move on.
Tom, make sure to put an echo on that. Thank you very much, Tom. We love you. Tom Hanks is our editor, by the way. Yes, that Tom Hanks.
Are you sure it's not just the volleyball?
You know, I suppose I've never seen Tom Hanks himself edit for us, but I don't know. I don't trust volleyball's editing skills.
Painted volleyball at a desk chair editing audio with headphones on.
Shout Wilson one more time, you're going to blow out the mic.